So greetings to all. This time I have Mr. Huzaif. He is BTech graduate from IIT Dharwad, and this is my pleasure to host this interview with Huzaif. So dear Huzaif, I welcome you on this platform.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and looking forward to this interview.
Great. So we have classified this interview in sections as introduction and personal life, academic experiences, internship and project experience, career, future plans, and closing. So we are starting with the first section with the first question. So Huzaif, is that okay? Can we start now?
No worries. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So our first question is, how does it feel to see yourself as an IITian, reflecting on your journey as a bachelor student and beyond?
As an IITian, I wouldn't say it has changed the perspective. The journey of being an IITian changed the perspective of where I am. So that whole part, like it never strikes me that that I have graduated from IIT, so that I am an IITian, or it doesn't change my perspective on things. But that whole 4 years of life at IIT have changed the way I've thought, and I'm grateful for that opportunity in that way. And this question always feels a bit weird when people say, "How do you feel as an IITian?" It feels great to have that opportunity, and that's the whole point of that. There's no you forget that you are an IITian once you graduate from that. Personally, I feel that way. You take the things you have learned in those 4 years from your professors, your peers, the institute itself, from the opportunities which were given to you. So that's what I would say I feel in that perspective. Right?
Great. So next question is, can you share memorable or interesting experiences from your time as a bachelor student, either during an internship or a project?
Some of the memorable experiences I don't think are suitable to be shared here. Apart from that, so there were memorable experiences in the sense that we had that unique chance of having online, sessions. Like we had almost 1.5 years, 3 semesters online, if I'm not 3.5 semesters online. So, like I remember vividly that some of the times we used to have online submissions and all those things. So I feel that the part used to make our professors very, very creative with assignments and exams. They used to be like, it's open book, do whatever you want to do, but we still were never able to do it. So I would say that was a very, very interesting memory in terms of projects and internships. So it hasn't. You always have normal experiences, but if you say striking memory is this, because I hope no one ever faces that situation again, COVID back again, but we had that chance, and that whole 1.5 was very chaotic. 3 semesters, 1.5 year was very chaotic, and seeing professors trying to one up the students, and students finding other ways to use resources available online. Then again, professor like, okay, let me make it even more difficult. So that whole thing was very interesting from my perspective, I would say.
Okay. So next question is, do you remember any funny day, memorable discussion, or heart-melting talk with any professors at IIT Dharwad, if you recall?
I have had very good conversations with a lot of professors. Particularly our faculty advisor, Professor Amar, was very, very supportive. He was very, understanding, and he used to, consider our request if we have something in that regards. So that was really thing. And then in terms of memorable or hard, I remember I once had a conversation with, Professor Tejas, and that conversation, he told me about how at that time I was started preparing for, I was preparing for CAT or something, and he told me how his friends who were from managerial who graduated as an engineer and now they're working in managerial positions. So that was a very, very you can say, a positive conversation, and it was very useful at that phase of time because I needed some motivation as well to keep going. And so yeah, overall professors have been very cooperative. Particularly in my experience, I would say they were very cooperative. So the problem with this is, in these 4 years you have so many experiences that it becomes unfair to pinpoint one particular thing. So I would say, yeah, all of them were there. These two stand out a lot. Professor Amar was very supportive, and when I got when I got the call from IIM Ahmedabad, I went and met him. So he congratulated me. So it felt really, like a very heart warming, you can say, moment that professor is congratulating you and wishing you the very best. It's very natural and common, but still it feels great in that way.
Great. So our next question is, how have your experiences during your bachelor studies influenced your personal and professional development?
They have changed me, that's for sure. 4 years is a long time, particularly when you're just about to enter adulthood. So it matters a lot, the people you are with, what are you doing, where are you spending time with. So when you have such good company, when you have the best minds in the country along with you, you learn a lot, not just academically or professionally, but personally as well. You see, okay, this is how a person is. So you'll have people who are hardworking. You'll see them, okay. So you'll see, okay, this guy he works so hard and he has succeeded. So that's like a role model for you. You have seniors who are, so for example, our alumni, a lot of our alumni are, in foreign universities. They're working in well-funded startups, MNCs, and for example, in my case, we were also start preparing for CAT. So I had one of a few seniors as well who are in IIM Indore, IIM Udaipur. So that whole thing of peers and everything, these things, learning from peers, having role models, I would say, like they are, you cannot call them like a role model in the sense like your family member or you have some great personality, but these are the people you always look forward to and you can learn a lot from. And I feel that has changed a lot. So I used to not be very socially active. My friends pushed me to that, and so that changed a lot. Now I'm having an interview right now, so I don't think I would have been able to do it 4 or 5 years back. So I would say these are the things which change a person, learning from the people around you. Just not just learning, if you look at them, you'll automatically just collect something. You'll just automatically, you are spending 24 hours with them. Some or the other thing you'll just learn, or you'll just it will just get ingrained in your brain. This guy is doing something, and you see him for 30-40 days, like, okay, you'll automatically start doing it. I feel that was something.
Great. This question will definitely fascinate you. What was your favorite spot for hanging out or relaxing during your bachelor years, and why?
So far I haven't given a clear answer, because all of them are very subjective. Even you know my favorite spot. There are two spots. One is music room, which was in our Rhapsody Club, and the other was the outside Bhopali mess. And I used to sit and hang out whole night. So these two are the favorite spots in the college I used to have.
So kind of extension of this question, could you describe a typical day what you used to have for you as a bachelor student, especially during your internships and project works?
Okay, so let's say, so I did not do any BTech project. I had course projects for sure. So I would say 4th year would be is the only time when we properly lived in college. It was in 3rd year. In the 5th sem, we were not there. We just stayed there for 1 sem and we went back. And half of the time we had restrictions of going out and everything. So I would say generally the day starts, you go, you have your basic routine, and then you attend lectures and stuff. And so like I would say you have enough time. If you are very shrewd with it, you'll have a lot of time to balance everything. And so I made it a decision in my 3rd year that I'll start participating in a lot of things. And that was one of the perk of being in IIT Dharwad, because it was new when we joined. So you were like the 4th batch of the college. So a lot of things were setting up. So we got a chance to build everything from the beginning. So I used to like go to lectures, attend lectures. If I'm doing so, if I will have internship work, I'll do it in the afternoon, and then my whole evening post lunch is reserved for these activities. IIC activities, and then you have sports, clubs, music club. Then I used to play tennis sometimes, volleyball sometimes, and then you're just meeting your juniors, and then as we used to sit outside the mess. So that was the whole day reserved. Also, general days in the morning you reserve it for your academia. I mean, you can also have people will manage how they do stuff, and the night was reserved for doing all the extracurricular things and other interests that you have.
Yeah, I remember we have shared a few semesters, I think 1 or 2 semesters together at the campus, and he used to sing one English song. I forgot the song. Can you please recall that high pitched song?
I mean, it's called Dream On. It's by
right. The entire Bhopali mess used to sound when he used to sing that time. Okay, so I'll move to the next question.
Practice. I remember that.
Practice, yeah. So this is kind of a rigid question. You should reply this. Who were some of the most influential people during your bachelor studies, and how did they impact your journey?
This is not a rigid question, I guess.
Okay.
As I said, there's no specific person. When you have such great people around you, almost everyone is kind of a inspiration in some or the other aspect. You are good at something, the other person will be good at something else. So you look at them and you'll see what can I improve there. So there is no specific role model. Everyone in a way is role model. You can learn from everyone, I guess. And so that was the idea. There's no specific person.
Okay, this is a really good answer. So now we'll move to the next question. How was your experience with the fests, whatever fest you have enjoyed or attended at IIT Dharwad? It can be any kind of fest. Any memorable moments or performances you would like to share?
So fest, though, firstly, COVID batch, very few opportunities. I remember 2019 the first Parsec Tech Fest which was organized. That was pretty interesting being in first year. We saw a fest for the first time and seeing people from other colleges, from Bangalore and those places coming and residing in the campus. That was a pretty interesting sight to see. And then the best opportunity wasn't in college. We went for inter-IITs, and that was one of the best experience, if I say, in terms of fest and performances were there. And that was one. Another thing which was very, very striking in terms of fest was, so whenever we used to have events for IIC or CDC, the struggle to get a sponsor. Or not the struggle, you will find sponsors, but the whole process of talking to them, trying to pitch to them what you offer and everything, then negotiating for money, how much will you offer, and those things were pretty interesting and fun that way. And then, I mean, performances and everything, they are just a part of it. Memorable. You try to make everything memorable.
Okay. So next question is, we are moving to the next section, that is academic experience. Could you discuss a challenging project or assignment you worked on during your bachelor studies, either in class or during an internship?
Okay, so we got interested in management since third year, second year. So all my internships were related to management. So I struggled a lot with mechanical related projects sometimes, and so I have a habit of not being much interested in courses where you have to just read the book and just go. Like I didn't used to like manufacturing and those type of materials. So I loved the mathematical and numerical part of mechanics of materials and everything, but these rigid subjects where you have to just learn the techniques and everything was there. So we had a project. I think we did 2 projects of manufacturing, and they were a mess for us. Like, and I think we made the silliest mistake in our second project. So I paired up with my 2 friends who also were not interested in who were going for a management career. So all 3 of us were management guys doing a mechanical project in manufacturing process, trying to 3D print stuff. So that thing was chaotic for us. So we used to just reach out to other people from our batch, how to set this. I think we used to have that density of 3D printing, right? I think we printed it at 5%. People are like, so we are making a differential model, and we were like, if you print it at 5 and you try to rotate it, it'll break. And I think we broke 3-4 models before that. So that was very, very challenging. That semester's project was very, very I remember vividly. In the end, we came up with a model of this size. You can hold it on a hand. Everyone, I think we had 10 groups, around 8 to 10 groups, yeah. Everyone was using a table to present their model. They had like, big, huge stuff, glass casings and everything. And here we are with a small model kept on a chair. So that was very, very challenging. That whole project was difficult for us because we didn't know what we should do. We had no clue about that. That was challenging for us.
Okay. So next question is, how did the academic environment contribute to your learning and growth at IIT Dharwad?
Academic environment was pretty, I would say interesting. We had, so I can speak about mechanical engineering. We had a lot of professors who were very, very creative with the way they teach, the experience, the way they teach, demonstrations, even the way they, assess you. The assessment process was also very, very interesting in some or the other way. Like few professors giving open book exams because they know if your concepts are not clear, it doesn't matter where you copy it, you can't do it. So those things were very interesting. So I would say, even though I went on to pursue went for management career, I still, because of the way they taught, I still can teach basic mechanical, not basic, decent amount of mechanical engineering. I mean, sometimes I can still draw SFD or BMDs, and I can explain the entire stuff of ATD cycles and everything, thermodynamic cycles and everything. So yeah, that has been there. A lot of professors were very creative. The environment is very, very, I would say, what word should I use for that? I would say, yeah, it is not boring. I would say it is. Professors try to make it, as engaging as possible for you. Some courses you may not find it. I mean, so let's say if you have a course in manufacturing, which personally I didn't used to like because of the theoretical section, it was made interesting with the project. Although I struggled with that, but seeing how things are made, like even 3D printing or seeing people, making, doing ANSYS analysis or anything like that, that was again interesting. So there were different elements. So the best part was that you are not just stuck to theoretical stuff. You have some or the other element which a professor tries to introduce in that. That was very, very interesting. It used to make things dynamic.
Okay, so one last question from academic section. When did you enter to IIT? What was your age, and when did you got your degree?
What was my?
When did you enter to the IIT? In which year you entered, and what was your age, and also mention your department in detail.
So I joined IIT Dharwad in 2019 batch, and our semester started in August 2019. I was 19 years old then, and I graduated in April 2023. So I was 22 years old at that time. So yeah, and I said right, I graduated from mechanical engineering. So yeah, 2019 to 2023, 4 years.
So now we are okay. Thank you. So now we are changing our section. We are entering into the internship and project experiences. So first question is, can you share details about your most significant internship experience, including the project you worked on and the skills you gained?
Most significant internship. So I feel like I won't be of much help here because my internships haven't been related to engineering at all. But I would say in generally, I feel the first internship for any student is the most important internship. because that opens a door for you in a way. You realize what you like or what you don't like. I would say I whatever internships I've done so far, all of them were very, very helpful. They were great learning experiences. And the first internship, again, as I said, is very important. Just getting that first internship, the whole process teaches you so much, how to reach out to people, how to try to make connections and figure out what you like or not. And in terms of projects, I did a course project. So I did a course project in game theory. That was our project, and that was actually very. Wait, I forgot the question. What was the question?
Yeah, question was
relate-
yeah, it was regarding most significant internship experience, including the project you worked on, the skills you gained.
So internships. So as I mentioned, skills. So firstly, though, if this interview is being watched by engineers, I am of no help there. No internships. I don't have any internship experience in terms of in mechanical engineering. So that's one thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel it's totally fine because there will be upcoming engineers. They may follow the same path. They may follow to go to the management world. Yeah.
Yeah. So in management, I would say the most important internship is the first one, as I said, finding it, realizing what you like, what you don't like. It opens a door for you, and yeah, you learn in every. I had that experience that I learned something new in each and every internship, and that was a good thing for me. I was lucky enough to get that opportunity. In terms of projects, I had course projects, and this is not a project, but we had a training session in one of our course, IC engine. So we had a industrial visit. I think we had 6 or 8 sessions in Tata plant. Tata plant, which is close to the campus.
Yeah.
Tata Hitachi or something. That was very interesting. Although at that point I was in my final semester, I had completed every requirement, but still, like, it was so interesting that someone who was not going to pursue a career in mechanical engineering, I still was intrigued by it. Just seeing how things work, and having a live demonstration of stuff was very cool in that way. So that was one of the key, I would say, a very interesting part.
Okay, great. Next question is from the same section. Were there any specific opportunities or experiences during your internship? It is especially about the opportunities or experiences during your internships or projects that were particularly impact your professional development.
I mean, I would say this has been a theme so far. I haven't been able to pinpoint to a specific thing. Yeah, I mean, फिर से the same thing is there, like specific, right? Specific thing which helped me.
Yeah, or any relatable thing
let's
you
say-
want to say. Yeah.
So let's say, so each internship has a key work which you are doing. So in my first internship, I was doing customer profiling and discovery. So I used to conduct secondary market research, and I also did primary market research, in which I used to call people, like people I know. I used to schedule calls with them, and that was a very key learning for me because you're directly speaking to a customer. So you're getting an idea how. So when you are building something, it's not just for a manager or someone who is building something. For an engineer as well, I feel it is very important to be in touch with people who are in the end going to use it. So I feel that was the whole thing. As an engineer as well, you can create something which is extremely marvelous, engineering marvel, no one has ever made it. But if it is not at all useful for anyone, or it doesn't provide value to anyone, there's no point of that engineering marvel. It will stay as an engineering marvel. It will become a theory for people. That's it. There's no practicality of it. I would say that in first internship, that thing was very, very important. Getting in, like that whole learning, you can be in your own world thinking I've created something great, but then having that reality check, being in touch with the people, being in touch with the customers of your product or of your potential product is something which I would say is very, very important for any engineer or any not just engineer, any person who's doing it. So I remember one of my teachers used to say, even if you make a phone which is which can hide it inside the, it's not shirt, you have a small pant pocket, right? And still it can do everything, but if you can't sell it, there's no point of that engineering market. So at the end of the day, if you're not able to make people realize how valuable it is, that is one key thing. So this whole idea, this whole thing of learning, okay, that you can be happy or proud of what you did, but unless and until your customer or people don't accept it, there's no point of making it. You will be like, okay, done, done, khatam, tata, bye, bye. That would be the thing then.
Okay, so now we are moving to the next section. It is regarding career and future plans. So first question is, what are your current career aspirations and how do you plan to achieve them based on your bachelor experiences?
So yeah, I gave CAT in my final year. I got an admit in IIM Ahmedabad, and IIM Ahmedabad is an option to defer your admission if you're a fresher. So I deferred my admit for 1 year, and I'm currently working in a software startups. So yeah, I'll be joining IIM Ahmedabad in June this year, and yeah, let's see. So the goal is just I have few interest which I want to see, like I have interest in product and strategy, and hopefully let's see where life takes. Like I feel like you can't plan your whole next 5 years or 10 years. You can have an outline in your mind, okay, this is something I like. You never know, next year in MBA I discover that, okay, I like marketing, who knows. So it's just open to that, I would say, and try to just career aspiration is just to try to do something which I like and be good at it. That's the whole point, because if you're good at it, you'll be in a good place in terms of the basic needs a human need, economically and professionally. If you in terms of that, you'll be in a good place. So I feel that is important then.
Great. So now second question is, how do you envision your future contributions to your own field or industry, considering your internship and project experiences?
Yeah, so as I said, in several internship experiences, and then now in this case I can actually talk about one project I did. We did a course on environmental economics, and we had a visiting faculty from University of Florida, and I think there I learned a lot about environmental costs and benefits. So I think these kind of experiences, like this project, taught me a lot. Not everything can be looked from a financial perspective. Not everything can be looked from just a proper profit loss. You have to look at social costs, you have to look at environmental costs, you have to look at what impact it is doing to people. So if I say contribution, I just want to do something which adds value to the people. That's as simple as that. At the end of the day, I don't want to be like I'm a corporate guy getting a paycheck for just fooling someone, or just doing something which isn't that important. Even if I feel it's better for us to use our resources to do something which helps people, and this may sound very ideal, helps people. I'm saying you don't be I'm not saying that you have to be a proper social say farmer or something, but you'll get your incentives for helping, doing that cause as well. You learn a lot, and you'll have, I think, so status in society if that matters to you. But if you have got such wonderful opportunities to be among such good people, I guess you should at least give back to the society, do something for the people, do something for developing something which helps people. Even if you're earning money from that, fine. But at least you should be happy that you did something which is helping people. It's a satisfaction which you get, I guess. So that is the aim. Hopefully, let's see if I succeed or not. If I don't succeed, I'll still try to get, have a decent life, I guess.
Great. So last question from this section. What advice would you give to students currently pursuing their bachelor degrees at IIT Dharwad, especially regarding internships and projects?
Advice for internships is try to explore in internships. So I have seen I did this mistake in one of my internship. Whatever task was given to me, I've done, I've stopped. I didn't used to do anything. So I would say, once you're done with the task, try to add more value to it, because once you start with something, so and then you're like, okay, what else can be done here? Even if you're person with whom you're interning with, let's say you're working under a professor, let's say you're working in a startup with a co-founder, with a manager, or with in let's say even let's say you're doing a lot of, I think, design engineering or anything. He told you to make this. Fine. If you can try to find more things in that, I would say that is one key thing you should look forward to in your internship, is to not just stop where you're set to do. Just don't do internship for the sake of doing what your manager told you to do. Try exploring it. I'm not saying go and just do it on your own. Yeah, find something, ask your manager whether this is useful or not. He'll give you feedback, so that feedback would be a good learning experience for you. You'll learn ways to find things. Things like okay, whether I've used the right approach to do things. Is this the right way of solving a problem? Is this the right way of finding a problem? So these are the things you learn, because those people who are working with you, they have experience. They know how things work. So that is one thing for internship. And second thing, so try to not just stop at the place where you have been told to stop. Try exploring a bit, particularly in very early internships, first or second internship, do that. And then apart from that, try to do internships and projects in the field where you think you have an interest. Don't do an internship, I would say, in a field where you have no interest in, just for the sake of getting an internship. A lot of people do it just for CV points, so that they are in a good position for placements. But I would say try doing something which is valuable in that way, which adds value to you. I did not do a mechanical engineering internship because I knew that although I may like it a bit, but I don't think I would be able to contribute much or enjoy it as much as I would enjoy doing something related to managerial position, product and strategy. So I would say try finding something which you like, and that would be helpful.
Okay, so we are going for the last section, that is closing section. How do you stay connected with your alma mater and the community of the students and professors, faculty, staffs here at IIT Dharwad?
We have WhatsApp, Instagram, you have phone numbers of everyone. You have social media is the best way to do. And then apparently a lot of our juniors don't remember that if you tag students, alumni are also sent an email. So we are bombarded with emails every day. So we are always, we know everything. At least, a lot of us know what is happening in the campus, I would say. And
so do you still check out those mails?
You'll get a notification. I can't, so I haven't muted the notifications, because sometimes, you may get something relevant in case, let's say, sometimes I've reached out to few professors, and let's say if you are reaching out, so you get an email. So at this point I haven't muted it, and so it feels we stay in touch in that way. We'll get to know. We have our sources in simple ways. We have people. You'll have. Let's see what happens after. I graduated last year, so I still have juniors who I know. Now new batch is coming, so let's see what happens after that. But in this day and age, it's very easy to be in touch with people, I guess. There's no issue. You can always reach out to professors through emails, and our professors have been very, very welcoming, and they have been very, very easy to reach out to. So if I ever need, I have reached out to professors once or a few times, so that has been very easy. There hasn't been an issue in that way.
So now I have the last question from the closing part. If you could summarize your bachelor experience in one sentence, what would it be? And final thoughts or messages for current students and faculty at your college, here at IIT Dharwad. So let's summarize your experience in one sentence.
I would say controlled chaos. It was chaotic, but it always felt that you are, not just you, people around you are in a way controlling that chaos. So you enjoyed that chaos, I would say. That would be a pretty easy way to sum this whole 4 years up. And that would, I would say, with that, controlled chaos is a pretty accurate way to describe that.
Great. So this was a really good session with Huzaif, and he replied everything very subjectively, properly. So Huzaif, if I'm missing any question, what you want to add, anything, any statement from your side, please do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. As you asked for advice for juniors, see, for faculty, though I have no advice. They are much more senior than me. They know much better how to teach students what to do for college.
Right.
And yeah, for juniors, I would say there's one thing I would say is try to find things you like. Try finding your own interest, because I feel when you do JE, you're stuck in your own books and words. You shut down yourself completely for 2-3 years, whatever time you study for it. So when you come to IIT, when you come to college, try exploring things. Try finding things, what you like, what you don't like, and don't get afraid if you like something which is not very common. Explore that space as well, and don't get afraid of things easily. Don't get afraid to get social with people, or reach out to people. I struggled with that in the first 1.5 years, but then I realized that I'm missing out on something really important. So don't make the mistake which I made in that sense. Try to be active in things which you like. Don't do things. There are a lot of people who do things for the sake of CV. They become heads of clubs. They become members of clubs, and CDC, IIC for the sake of CV. Don't do that. If you're not interested, just leave it. If you're interested in something, go for it then. But you can't stop it. People will still do it for CV points. Everyone does it. But try finding something. You'll definitely find something which is interesting for you, and do that thing instead of just forcing yourself into something.
Great.
Explore. That's the whole point. Just explore things. At least for the first 2 years, explore completely. Don't miss out on any opportunity. Find what you like. Because third and fourth year will be a bit more controlled, and you'll be under pressure. A lot of people have pressure of placements. A lot of people will have pressures of higher education. People will give GMAT, CAT, GRE. They'll be like, okay, whether I've converted my college call or not, my interview has been converted or not. So there's a pressure of those things. So first 2 years are comparatively academically okay. You'll have some load, but you can manage it and try to find things which would be helpful for you in that way.
Okay, so guys, so we are almost done, and this was a very fruitful interview. I hope this entire session will add fun, joy and value in the life of viewers. And
fun and joy, I don't think it has added. I don't think I have been very clear with answers. I have been a very, very textbook answer, but I feel it is a general.
Yeah.
Everyone will have the same experience. You can't get specific in these 4 years. You'll have to just feel like, okay, find your own path, I guess.
Yeah. So thank you, Huzaif, for joining us for this interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and considering me even worthy for being enough to just give some advice to students while I've just been out for almost a year now. So yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you, Huzaif.